Salas, and these are tonight's top stories. Well, 48-year-old Patrick Zacharias Yanga was arrested and charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct and 2 counts of second-degree criminal sexual conduct, all as felonies. Court documents state that a 12-year-old victim reported the alleged assaults to police on the 1st of July, alleging Yanga sexually assaulted her twice in early June. The victim says she was asleep both times when Yanga woke her during the incidences. Elsewhere tonight, 25-year-old Atanasio Rodrigo Sablan Cepeda was arrested and charged with assault as a misdemeanor. On July 14th, court documents state the victim was at work when Cepeda became angry at him and punched him in the jaw. Cepeda was interviewed and told police the victim followed him in his room, so he punched and headbutted him in self-defense. Elsewhere, a man allegedly found 46-year-old Ryan Ugan Beneventi in his outside kitchen, leading to his arrest on the charges of burglary, criminal trespass, and harassment. Court documents state Beneventi was seen sitting in the victim's garage on home surveillance on July 14th. The victim returned home to his kitchen screen door locked and was unable to get inside. He went through a window and confronted Beneventi, who was in the kitchen. Beneventi then allegedly shoved the victim and ran after a struggle, but the victim and his nephew found him on Route 8 and detained him for police. Let's shift focus now to regional news, as on Rota, the Mariana Crow population there is seeing promising numbers. And as KUAM's Tomas Manglonius spoke with biologists, they shared how the pandemic is impacting their operations.
Our goal is to understand and conserve and increase the population of Mariana crows on Rota. It's a species that's unique to Rota and Guam. It's an important heritage of the people.
Sarah Fagery is a field supervisor and co-investigator of the Mariana Crow Recovery Project, working through the University of Washington. Her team, in collaboration with local agencies, has studied the bird for years on Rota.
We're now at a point where the remaining population is entirely on Rota. We believe there are around 200 individuals living in the wild on Rota.
Research scientist Henry Fandel says that while milestones have been reached, there still is work to be done.
Still very much trying to understand precisely what happened. There is a lot of evidence that shows that there is an ongoing fungus that has created like systemic infection in the aga, specifically young aga, that leads to high rates of mortality.
He says the introduction of feral cats is also a cause for population decline. The project surveys the 80 different areas they live in on Rota, looks for nests, banned the birds for identification, and tracked them with small radio backpacks. After years of stagnation, they're seeing promising results.
Right now, we are about 20 pairs shy of a sustainable level on Rota, and there isn't a second population right now, and so we're working very hard towards reaching those goals.
Having a second population would fill the requirements that define sustainability. They're also working on a grant for a translocation plan.
Translocation plan would be essentially addressing the feasibility of different options for like which island we could use for the second population of aga, and I think that will consider the challenges and the benefits of both Guam and the northern islands.
The program has been relatively safe from the pandemic, as most of their small team already works in isolation. But it comes at a cost.
Recently been dealing with the concern of the cost of quarantine for new technicians that we bring in either from the mainland or even Guam. We know we're going to be hiring locals. We're interested in considering UOG students, but bringing in new people from Guam through the quarantine is an expense we didn't budget for. So we're now seeking an additional grant to ensure that we can still hire all of the staff we need to complete our work.
That work, she says, comes with a deep sense of responsibility.
This is the aga of the Mariana Islands, of Rota and Guam, and I want that to be, that ownership of the natural resources to be taken back by the people.
Tomas Manglonius for KUAM News on Rota.
All right, great job on that story, Tomas. Back here in the 671, the University of Guam Press, in partnership with the University of Guam's College of Natural and Applied Sciences, has released a new children's book entitled Mother Tree by Olympia Terral and illustrated by Dawn Lee Regis. The story was inspired by the last remaining mature Hadun Lagu up in the northern part of the island.
I love nature. And that was the inspiration for this book, was my love of nature.
Okay.
And having lived on Guam for over 30 years, I've watched Guam change, and lots of places that were once full of cycads due to invasive species, the cycads have diminished, the population has diminished, and just rampant development has really changed the island.
A series of book launch and author reading events are being planned for later in the year when our island is fully recovered from coronavirus. Now, Terrell hopes that readers will embrace the moral of Mother Tree, which is to protect nature and show people what happens when we do not.
By this one tree who's very lonely, there's no more. She's the only mature tree, so she doesn't have any family. And she talks about not having family, and to her Fanihi friend. And also the story is about invasive species, because as we know, what do we have on Guam? We have the coconut rhinoceros beetle, who's decimating our coconut trees. And then we have the scale that came in, as I was saying earlier, that had decimated the cycad population. And we have little fire ants. Okay, so I wanted to get, without saying the word invasive species, I wanted to get people thinking about what happens to the beings, to nature, when we don't pay attention.
The book can be purchased at the UOG Triton Bookstore, Bestseller, Faith Bookstore, and other vendors, and on Amazon. There will also be a virtual book reading and discussion on the UOG Press Facebook page on July 24th at 2 in the afternoon. Also tonight, about 6 Guam soldiers under Task Force Medical are now assisting public health document passenger arrivals for COVID-19 tracking. Jessica Camacho, the unit lead for the COVID records unit, said of the Guard troops, quote, "They are task-oriented and flexible. They can do anything we ask them to do." She also adds, "They're really great people and blend with everybody, and we greatly appreciate their help." Well, last weekend, several responsible island organizations and the Manila Mayor's Office distributed over 200 free home garden kits to island residents. The contemporary Chamorro women's group, Ihagan Famalawan Guahan, was a major driving force behind the contribution, helping the community in our time of need with the increasing social, economic, and health challenges of the pandemic. Well, University of Guam Professor of Human Resource Management, Dr. Richard Colfax, was recently named an Albert Nelson Marquis Lifetime Achievement Award recipient by Marquis Who's Who. His bio is now listed in Who's Who of America, Who's Who in American Education, Who's Who in Finance and Business, and Who's Who in the World. Now, Dr. Colfax, who's been with UOG since 1994, was instrumental in establishing the Human Resource Management degree program, and he's been an advisor for the UOG student chapter of the Society of Human Resource Management since its founding in 1998. Colfax has earned a range of degrees from a number of universities, including Sophia University in Tokyo, Azusa Pacific University in California, Fielding Graduate University, and the University of Guam. He's also a Navy vet. He also holds multiple U.S. and international human resources and management certifications. He's also the nicest guy you are ever going to meet on planet Earth. So next time you see Dr. Colfax, wish him a very well-deserved congratulations. Good job, Doc. All right, coming up next on Weekend Edition, we've got Trend Spotting with Adriana, and still to come, Sports with Dave Delgado.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Gila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
We are open to serve you at Cars Plus Guam. Need a quick service for your vehicle? Visit our express lane at Cars Plus. Done fast, done right. No appointment needed. Our service team is dedicated to helping you get your vehicle in and out of the shop and back on the road quickly and securely. Simply drop off your vehicle at our express lane driveway, and one of our service advisors will take care of it. Need a ride? Not to worry. We have a shuttle vehicle ready to drop you back home and pick you up when your vehicle is ready. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit us today. We are open to serve you.
There's a lot of planning going on to move us forward in the midst of the pandemic. From school to elections, it's what you've been talking about all week. Half a day, I'm Adriana Cotero, and this is your Trend Spotting Report. After months of planning and even a failed attempt at Paseo, Guadalupe announced the opening of the long-awaited emergency homeless shelter meant to stop the spread of the COVID-19. Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio described it as a new non-congregate shelter at a mighty motel, managed by Catholic Social Services. Catholic Social Services will also be assisting with wraparound services for the clients. The shelter welcomed its first family last week, and during the government's first interagency council on homelessness held on Thursday, the Lieutenant Governor said in the shelter there were 50 people, including children, in 39 rooms. He said 36 of the 50 are of Chamorro descent, 8 are of Chuukese descent, 2 Caucasian, 1 Filipino, 1 Hawaiian, and 1 Palauan, and 1 Japanese. The new council also discussed plans for the permanent shelters and solutions to the island's homeless problems. And here are some of your comments. One of our top fans, Jesse Mendiola, says that's awesome. The homeless will be getting the aid that is needed. We are all one Guam, and I know firsthand how it is to be living on them streets. Kudos to Lieutenant Governor Tenorio. Another comment says, I am looking forward for my niece to get the help she needs. Great work, LT. I believe in you and all the work that you do. And Charlotte says, housing the homeless is long overdue. To vote or not to vote in the primary elections, that is the question our lawmakers have been grappling over the week as the August primaries are near. Nationwide, COVID is taking a toll on the elections, and it's no different on Guam. Legislators are debating whether to toss out the primary elections to keep island residents safe while saving some cash. While some senators, including Republican Senator Mary Torres, says we will realize immediate savings by canceling the primary, Democratic Senator Regine Bisco-Lee, who is not seeking re-election, said that might not be the case. Lee said in the event we do cancel the primary and there's a runoff after the general, we won't see any savings. There's also concern whether it was fair to force certain candidates and their constituents. A concern from Republican Senator Will Castro, who would be facing 2 Democratic candidates if the primary was nixed. A KUAM News poll showed an overwhelming number of residents don't mind skipping the primary elections. And here's what some of you shared on the issue. One of our Facebook writers says, I agree with Senator Castro. If the justification to cancel the primary election this year is to save public taxpayers money, then cancel all primary elections from now on, and not just this year. We also can't argue that it is for safety reasons. COVID-19 is going to be here for the foreseeable future. There isn't much difference that can be made during the general election that can be implemented during the primary election as well. Our top fan, May Sablon, says, I totally agree 100% with Senator Castro. If everyone can go shopping, work, entering a store with more than 25 people, then why not? Common sense, people. Another top fan, Mark Spa, says, must not have been a real emergency as long as it's taking to break the law. Into one of the biggest questions on residents' minds. Are kids going back to school next month? The Guam Department of Education already presented its options, including a hybrid of in-class and distance learning. And now the department's survey is showing some 60% of parents prefer their children to stay home. This week, the governor also released guidelines for schools, including higher learning institutions, planning for reopening. The guidelines include limits on maximum classroom occupancy, required campus signage on sanitation and safety, and the mandatory use of masks. It also covers building cleaning, disinfection, ventilation, and personal hygiene practices in class that require hand sanitizers. And schools must also designate a specific employee to coordinate the COVID-19 control measures. So are you ready to send the kids back to school? Here are some of your thoughts. Debbie says, you're comfortable, but we're not. Another one of our viewers says, don't send your babies to school. The second wave is coming and will be worse. They are moving too fast with opening the island up. And another top fan writes, you have choices. Hard copy, pick up work on Monday, drop it on Friday. You also have an online choice, and those who absolutely need it if they can have their children attend school with limited seating. I don't know what's so wrong with this. I don't know if everyone in the comments have even looked into it. And Jessica says, how is a virus so dangerous you have to let people out of jail, but safe enough to send children back to school? That's going to do it for this week's Trend Spotting. Remember to wash those hands and to mask up. We'll see you back here next week. I'm Adriana Cotero.
Social distancing may be the new norm, but connection will always be our tradition. Through good times and tough times, we remain connected with you. Masks may be the new fashion, but protection will always be our style. You can always count on us to protect the things that matter the most. Sanitizing may be the new routine, but caring will always be our practice. We care about your loved ones and the things you value the most. And as we welcome our new normal, one thing remains certain: we will always be here for you. We're open and ready to serve you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Noah Kichichu was selected as the 2020 Mel Shea Suying Scholar Athlete of the Year. He was given an Apple iPad, a brand new Apple Mac Air laptop, and $2,000 to be used for his college expenses.
I was actually getting ready for the gym when I got a call from Dr. Shea, and it was good news. It was some reassurance, you know. We've been waiting for a while to hear some good news, and I got the call from him, and I was excited, and I thanked him, of course, and then I went downstairs and I told my family about it, and of course they're excited. They gave me some hugs and they exchanged some nice words.
Kichichu excelled in the classroom, carrying a straight A average. At GW, he says his mom played a big role in his academics, motivating him to stay on top of his schoolwork.
Coming in my freshman year, my mom was a teacher, so I wanted to set a good example because I'm her son, and give a good reputation for our name. And she pushed me every day to do the things that I would always do. She pushed me to study. She pushed me to do my homework. She would always make me stay back after school to study in her classroom, and just to do homework. And she would go over it with me, and just she really pushed me to be the person I am today.
The COVID pandemic forced the IIAG and ESA sports leagues to cancel fourth quarter sports. Seniors around the island had to pick up their diplomas via drive-through graduation ceremonies. Dr. Shea did not want to disappoint the island's top scholar athletes this year, who have worked hard since their freshman year. So in honor of his late grandmother, Dr. Shea kept the program going, now in its 21st year.
It really just shows that whatever life throws your way, you always have to overcome it no matter what situation you're in. There's always a way around it. And this pandemic really it really messed up things for our senior class, but that's not something that we can dread on. We just have to look furthermore into the future and just focus on our success.
Noah was a four-sport athlete while attending GW. He wrestled all 4 years, taking home silver medals in his junior and senior season. He played rugby for 4 seasons, winning a championship as a junior. This year would have been his 4th year suiting up for the Geckos on the volleyball court. Football is his go-to sport, making All-Island twice, and was voted Defensive MVP his final season.
Really just the good times I had with my teammates and my friends on the field, all the memories we made, that just really impacted me. All the memories are going to follow with me throughout the rest of my life.
With the help of his family, and especially his brothers throughout his sports career, Noah was able to flourish as one of Guam's top high school athletes.
So definitely, of course, my family. They're my number one support system. And then my coaches were always there for me. They were on and off the field. They were always giving me some good advice, whether it's life lessons or for sports. And then my brothers also pushed me to be the person I am today, the athlete I am today. They were definitely on me. They were always pushing me to be a great athlete, forcing me to go to practice, and just leading me in the right path towards success.
Sky's the limit for the future frontline professional. His plans are the military after college and one day serving the community as a local firefighter.
I'm actually going to be going to GCC. I'm going to study firefighting science. I'm going to get my EMT cert, and then I want to join the Air Force after, and then go to a firefighting school in Texas, and then hopefully I want to get my get into the fire department.
The University of Guam will have a new generation of soccer coaches when the Guam Football Association kicks off its next season. The UOG Triton Athletics Department named Dylan Napati and Derek Cruz as the next men's and women's soccer coaches, respectively. Cruz will take over the women's program that was coached by Gary Larkin in the 2019-2020 season. Dylan Napati will coach the UOG men's team, formerly coached by Rod Hidalgo. Both coaches have been captain of the Triton men's soccer team. They also played together for the Tritons in 2018-2019 when the team won the GFA Men's Amateur League with a 16-2 record.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com. King's welcomes you back with our King's Time value menus, full of great deals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We hope to see your family soon at King's.
For the Love of Burgers is back with 6 of our most popular burgers, each for just $9.99 for a limited time at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
Take the party home with our new Get It To Go menu. Combo specials and kids meals, pizza, wings, and more. Now available for carryout at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam.
Today, we want to take the time to thank everyone that took the time to wake up with KUAM and our interactive show containing COVID.
Whether it was listening for just a few minutes or streaming the entire broadcast for 4 hours, thank you. It's definitely been an emotional roller coaster for all of us.
We've cried together.
Be strong, but yeah, you know, you're going to break if you try and be too strong, so.
We have expressed our frustration together.
They're going to have more people die from starvation than they did with the COVID.
But we've also celebrated our COVID heroes together.
Well, thank you for letting us, share that with the community.
So thank you so much for bringing us into your homes and your hearts. Your support has given us the motivation and the drive we need to continue what we're doing.
But over the next few weeks, we are going to be taking a pause to make the necessary changes to transition what was only supposed to be a temporary show to instead be that permanent link to hold our leaders accountable.
I think that was a really bad mistake and should not ever happen again.
To be that link that provides information the community needs, information that impacts and affects each and every one of us.
Okay, listen up, Sabrina.
Oh, don't tell me listen up.
Oh, John, you
I
better
can
take it
hear
easy
you
there, buddy.
Just fine.
To be that link that connects Guamanians and Chamorros on Guam with those around the world.
We hope you'll continue to keep listening, to keep watching, and to keep streaming. And we'll see you soon.
Bigger and better than ever before.
We just wanted to wish you a happy liberation from the Santos family in Bremerton, Washington.
Happy Liberation!
Happy Liberation!